We are Makilala TV, the first Filipino-American TV talk show in the New York metro area. Get to know us as we talk to the community leaders, innovators, advocates, and emerging artists who affect Filipino-American life.
My name is Rachelle Ocampo, and on behalf of my co-host, Jen Fuhrer, who's not able to make it today, and Cristina Pastor, welcome to Makilala TV, the first and now longest-running Philam TV talk show in the New York metro area. This episode's topic is on Philippine Independence Day across New York City boroughs. There are truly an infinite number of ways one can celebrate being Filipino, especially since we are celebrating our 126th year of independence. But these two Philam leaders, Nora and Eder, have mastered the skill of bringing Filipinos together to celebrate Philippine independence and use their events as a point of unity and cooperation among Filipinos and friends. Our first guest is Ederlinda Paraiso-Miranda, who is the Vice President of Scientific Research Management at Memorial Sloan Kettering and the first President of the newly formed Philippine Independence Committee of Staten Island, also known as PICOSI. PICOSI organizes and leads commemorative events that honor the rich history and heritage of the Philippines. Our next special guest is Leonora, or Nora, Galleros-Tinio, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Galleros Robinson Certified Public Accountants, LLP, and also a distinguished community leader now serving as Executive Director of Philippine Independence Day Council Incorporated, also known as PIDCI, after serving as their president for the past 2 years. Welcome to Makilala TV, ladies. So before we dive into what makes PIDCI and PICOSI unique, tell us first, what is your why of serving the community through your respective Filipino celebrations? Why do you do what you do? So we'll start with Ms. Nora.
All right. Thank you for having me, first of all. I am here on behalf of Armand David, who is the president of Philippine Independence Day Council, Inc. So going back to the question of why I'm doing this is because I truly believe in the platform. It's one way of showing our pride of our rich cultural heritage. It's such a huge undertaking. I think it's giving it a huge impact to the community as well, and showing how large the Filipino community is in New York City to the world.
That's beautiful. I really feel like that is how a lot of people see PIDCI. It's really giving a little mirror or taste of the Philippines along Madison Avenue. And Eder, tell us, what is your why?
For very similar reasons. I would like for the Staten Island community to recognize the Filipino culture and their contributions that the citizens have made to the whole community. I think growing up on Staten Island, I realized that many people don't understand or don't know who Filipinos are or what we represent. There are over 10,000 Filipinos on the island, and we often get lumped into, are you Chinese? Are you Korean? So there are many people who just don't even understand where the Philippines is or what the Filipinos represent. And so I want to help people understand our culture and our traditions and what we have to offer.
How old is PICOSI now, Eder?
It's only 2 years old.
Oh,
yes,
that's right.
This is our second year.
I know.
Yes.
Are you looking at the experience of PIDCI, for example?
Absolutely.
And learning from what they are doing, or unlearning whatever you see?
Yes,
not
absolutely.
Much to your,
PIDCI is the pinnacle of all of the parades, the Filipino parades. I think across the U.S., if not the world. It's amazing what you've accomplished in the, how long has it been operating
We've
for?
been doing the parade for 36 years now.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a long time.
Oh my gosh, I was like, not aging myself, but I think that's what I was for.
I remember a while back, people were thinking of doing a parade in Queens. Do you remember that?
I do remember this conversation.
And there was a lot of people knocking down the idea, why should we do it in Queens? We already have it in Manhattan, right? Yeah. Queens is, they look at Queens as kind of second
like little
second,
Manila.
yeah,
So
second
people are like,
nature.
yeah,
Yeah, as a
why
borough.
not have it?
And yet they did it. Staten Island did it. They did not bother with what people were saying.
But is it?
Did you run into those kinds of comments?
Yeah,
There are questions about whether or not we should do a parade. So in our first year, we opted to not do a parade because we wanted to see if people would actually attend the event. And so we decided to run it as a fiesta, as sort of a street fair, and highlight some of our local talent. We had over 1,000 guests attend, and so there is definitely strong interest. So this year, we're going to include a small procession. Yes, just a small procession from the church to the schoolyard. And so just
Is that
something.
a short distance?
It's a short
Okay.
distance. And so it really is just a very small celebration that brings together the Filipinos across the island.
And does this year, do you guys have a theme for your respective celebrations?
Yes, we do. Because what we are doing really is to ensure and that the young ones, if you call them the young ones who are not even born in the Philippines, are at least in touch with the culture and getting involved. So the theme for this year is preserving our culture and heritage to unite future generations. So that is the theme for PIDCI this year.
Very nice.
Are you, what is the special highlight of your parade this year?
Okay.
If you're willing to,
Of
can you
course.
reveal it
Disclose it.
now?
Ooh, we get first dibs.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Last year, we did invite a lot of delegations from the Philippines. And the reason for that is to give them an opportunity to promote their provinces or their regions, right? Who else could best promote themselves but the people who are from those regions? So it worked very well. And so we will continue to do the same thing. So the highlight will be, there will be at least five delegations from the Philippines bringing the actual festivals to the parade. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah.
What do you
five
mean by
provinces?
what do you mean by delegation? Is it like
Like it's the local government. For instance, there is already a commitment from the province of Aurora. Aurora last year won the best float. So we have not seen those kind of floats in the past parades, right? So they are now encouraged and challenged to come up with a more beautiful float. So they already had reached out to us and we already had communicated with them. So you could see one great float from the province of Aurora. Now, last year, the province of Isabela was not able to get here. It's because we ran out of time, because that was our first time to bring a lot of festivals over. So this year, they had been preparing for this. So you will see the Bambante Festival parading with us, and that's one of the best festivals in the Philippines.
right, yeah.
In fact, that festival won they won an international award for that, right? As the largest and the most beautiful festival in the Philippines. So they will be here, and that will be sponsored by the province of Isabela. So among others.
Yeah.
Yes, among others.
Any special guests, celebrities, movie stars?
she wants the deep she wants the first dibs.
I cannot disclose at this time.
knew it.
It's because the arrangement is being
Still,
finalized.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, because we learned, we really learned from past experience when we put out, the
names,
poster ahead of time. We had to bring it down and in 30 minutes just because there was a last minute, issue that we could not address. And that particular artist was not able to get here. So yeah.
Lesson learned, Eder.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
for
don't
sure.
until
Don't
everything
announce
is
it
done.
until something is
Yes,
signed.
yes.
But Eder, are you thinking of bringing in,
We're
some kind of
looking
a
at a local talent. So we're reaching
Local
out to
from here.
people
Okay.
across New York City and
Okay.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't have signed contracts yet, so we can't disclose.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out how to involve my family. Like my two kids now, they're 1 and 3 in these events. And I love that you're saying that your theme was
Yes.
of bringing in the kids. Did you have a theme this year for PICOSI?
So we're going with a general Filipino fiesta, really because we want to bring in the non-Filipinos as well to help celebrate with us.
Yeah, I feel like that has been like a good way to bring people in is similar to Nanding's with
Fiesta.
It used to be Philippine Fiesta.
Right.
Yeah,
And then he, knowing the need of the market and the brand, he changed it to Fiesta in America.
Yeah, that's right.
So I feel like
Yes.
that is a good way
Yeah.
for us to celebrate our heritage and share it with others.
Yeah. Nora, over the past several years, you've had a really huge attendance of something like 25,000, right?
Yeah.
25,000.
Yeah.
It's actually more.
Do you think you can get the same number of people this year?
Yeah, last year we estimated more than 50,000. Okay,
Really?
because that was the
Last year?
125th, and we believe we would be able to bring in the same number, if not more. It's because the parade is getting more and more interesting, and we're attracting a lot more people. So I would not be surprised that the number this year would be higher than last year.
That's right.
There was, I think we were actually on a float together. I think I hijacked your float. I came in with my kid. I was like, can I join your float? Because it was supposed to be Filipinos representing in an AAPI parade.
Okay.
Oh, I remember.
Right?
I remember.
Do you
Yes.
remember that? And I was like, we need more Filipino representation. Like, we are the 4th largest AAPI group in New York.
That's right.
And we had just one, not just one float, but yeah, how do you feel about us trying to really be representative within the AAPI community? Like, how can we do better?
So yes, last year was the first time that I got to know AAPI, and I was glad that PICOSI put my name on the list. And so she convinced me, along with AAPI, who spoke with me last year, to at least get a float. And so, yes, we had a float, and we will continue to do so. It's because, according to them, we really don't have any participation in those activities, right? So we will be encouraging a lot more organizations to participate, because they really have to see how large we are and how significant we are in the community. Yeah.
Eder, you're holding a parade this year, right?
Small one, yeah. Procession.
Procession. Is it expensive?
The entire endeavor is expensive only because we work solely off of sponsorships. So we ask vendors to contribute a nominal fee, but the majority of it comes from donations from the community.
And you're getting it?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Good.
Yes, luckily. We're very fortunate.
We recently had an episode on crab mentality. Very recent.
You should have been there.
You should have been there.
You should have listened to it.
What message do you have to those who question your event's mission? Like, as a very well-seasoned event planner and somebody who just started just 2 years ago, what is your message to those who kind of question why you do what you do?
Yes, it's very interesting when I entered the community. Cristina knows there were a lot of challenges. Among those is questioning, PIDCI as an organization and its mission. But the answer to that is because the board and the members are so clear on what task PIDCI has to undertake, it doesn't matter. Just ignore the question and do what you need to do, and do it to the best of your ability. That's it. Show them that there is a purpose of what you're doing, and that purpose is being unfolded as you implement the task.
So PICOSI was actually formed to unify the organizations on Staten Island. There were 14 Filipino organizations, most of them religious-based, that were based all in Staten Island with a Filipino community of only 10,000 people. So imagine the 10,000 folks splitting up among these organizations. There was nothing that really brought us together under one umbrella. And so a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, Father Ray Garcia, who was the first Filipino pastor of a church on Staten Island, he called a few of the Filipino leaders and said, I see all of these other ethnic groups getting together and holding events for their communities. Do we do anything like that? Is there something that can unify all of us together? And there wasn't. And so we came up with the idea of celebrating Philippine independence. And so representatives from each of those 14 groups came together and helped to organize the event.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So you are now a cohesive unity of
Yeah.
a cohesive community.
As it could be.
As it could be. Right. And so all of them came back this year to the table to say, let's do this again and let's do it together. And we formed the PICOSI Incorporated, really to represent the Filipinos of Staten Island, but also to uplift each other. So we've been promoting each other's events and making sure that there's dialogue across all of the different groups.
Yeah,
That is
that's
very
right.
difficult. 14
Yeah.
different leadership styles,
Yeah.
14 egos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I give a lot of props to you.
Thank you.
I-
Foreign leaders. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
You know what that means, right?
We have over 100. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 100.
So how do you feel, Nora, when you hear of other people, other groups who want to do their own events? Like we also have like PAFCOM in Jersey.
Oh, that's in
right?
Jersey,
Or
right?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that
Oh,
has
they,
theirs.
they build themselves as a Filipino American. It's not Philippine Independence.
Yeah, it's
Filipino American friendship.
Okay,
Friendship,
so it's
yeah.
a different spin
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's also within the same month of
Yeah.
June.
Something.
Yeah.
yeah, latter part of June.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how do you feel about other groups who are not that they're trying to not be unified, but they feel like that they don't feel under the umbrella of PIDCI?
Well, as Eder said, you know, there is a purpose of what they are, why they are doing what they're doing, right? It's addressing a certain need and a certain purpose. So, I mean, they certainly can do. They have the right to do what they feel is right for the community. So, I salute them for doing that. But I'd like also people to realize that PIDCI is one huge platform, and we want everybody on board.
So Nora, PICOSI is just in the beginning stages of organizing a parade or a procession. Do you have any advice for them? How to
Yes.
proceed?
A lot.
Yeah, just make your, of course, your activities a lot more interesting every single year, so that people have something to look forward to. It's not going to be same old, because then people will be discouraged and will not come back. And you know, they would probably show up 1 year or 2 years down the road just because they missed the food. But if you have something to something interesting, it's different from the year before, they will certainly come back and every single year. Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you so much. This is actually the first year that we're adding in one new element. Last year was all new, right? So we had showcases of different talent. We had basketball, volleyball, and Filipino games. This year, we decided to add in Reina PICOSI, but the focus is on women who are coming into the age of elegance. We're saying it's women in their golden age who
Women
are
of a certain
Yes.
of a certain age. Oh,
yeah,
okay, that's
yeah.
nice.
So they have to be above a certain age to participate.
What is that age?
80.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Really? Are you
It's
getting
really-
a lot of interest?
We have 5 applicants so
far.
far.
Oh, I just got
Yeah,
chills.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fundraising
It's a
pageant,
fundraising, yeah,
but it's
okay.
really to spotlight their contributions to the Filipino culture and community.
That's right.
And so these women are going to be presented at our event on June 8th, and then they'll help to fundraise through the end of the year, and then we have a big gala and coronation in November.
And they will be walking.
They will
during the
be
parade too.
walking.
Oh, that's
Yes.
really nice.
That's
Yeah.
very, very nice.
Yeah, it's really to honor them.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I see this theme of unity, but also it's not just a one-time event. I'm hearing now that there's also a PIDCI gala, and now I hear the coronation event in the fall. I mean, people really underestimate how much it takes
Oh, yes.
to do this one-time event. Why do you feel that this is all worth it, all this work? And I'm sure you don't get paid. If you do get paid, very, very little.
No, pay.
I feel like I'm
they
paying
have
with
a lot
that.
of, they have a lot of volunteers.
A lot of
right? Yeah,
volunteers,
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But what makes it worth it and fulfilling for you both?
Yeah.
It really takes a village to organize all of this, but the process of organizing brings us so much closer together. And I feel like I get to work with people who I normally wouldn't interact with or work with on a regular basis, right? I don't see them very often. And so it's nice to see them at least once a week or talk to them once a week. And then the looks on everyone's faces from last year's event just helped us decide we're absolutely going to do this year and going forward. We brought together generations of Filipinos who hadn't seen each other in many years, and they were enjoying each other's company. So the grandparents were watching their grandkids play volleyball on the lawn, and there were performers of all different ages coming together. So it was really nice to see that unity.
And Nora, what makes it worth it for you? There's a lot of drama, I feel like, and challenges for PIDCI because
absolutely.
you've been doing it for 35 years.
That's right.
Right,
36.
absolutely. On a personal level, actually, I've learned so much from the whole, the whole experience. Taught me a lot of patience. It taught me a lot of my tolerance level at this time is higher than 5 years ago. But The fulfillment I get from this is seeing the huge parade down Madison Avenue, showcasing our rich culture, having everybody on the same day, 50,000, even they said about closer to 75,000 actually, including the bystanders.
That's big.
That's huge. And as what I've said, it's a statement to the world that the Filipinos are here. We are huge. We are significant. Not only, in terms of how rich we are in terms of culture, but the contributions we make to the economic activities of the U.S. and the world. You could see the different organizations participating, the engineers, the accountants, the nurses, the doctors, like everybody from young to old. You see them parading down Madison Avenue. Last year we went overtime, right? And I thought that the police will stop us.
Okay.
And I was at the reviewing center. I saw from the beginning to end and how long it was. I almost cried. It was huge, bringing people from the Philippines to promote themselves, having everybody so happy and so proud that they are Filipinos. That was enough for me. Yeah.
I think they call PIDCI the biggest gathering of Filipinos.
Overseas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Overseas.
that's
The biggest
75,000.
Independence Day gathering of Filipinos.
Yeah. Yes.
They're even bigger than Manila, right? Than the Philippines, right?
Almost, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. But overseas for sure.
Yeah,
Overseas for
that's
sure.
right.
Yeah, one of the things that I admire about the PIDCI is there's so many things that I learned, even just being as a observer, is all the different groups that I never knew existed. Like there was like a bowling team, Filipino bowling team,
I
and they
didn't
had
know
the
that.
best, I felt like the best contingent because they were dressed up as like bowling pins or
That's
something.
right.
I was like, this is great. But it really shows you all the different types of industries and interests and ways that Filipinos have contributed to America and to New York. So I really admire all the work that you've done. What message do you have to other organizers, learning from the challenges and the drama that you've worked with other Filipinos? What is your message to other Filipinos about organizing an event like this?
Oh, the advice there is have a lot of patience, really.
A lot of tolerance.
A lot of tolerance, yes. But I think the biggest lesson there, or the message is, just stay true to your mission. Just really stay true to your mission, and everybody really will work with you. PIDCI is so blessed. This year we have Armand David as the president, and all of the board of directors. They're all working, together with the community. The community is a lot more welcoming, a lot more supportive. We're just blessed and we're thankful. Yeah.
I think PIDCI has the benefit of being there for a long time, so it had a history. It had its ups and downs in terms of its background, and they were able to address that part of the past that was a little unsavory for a while.
Okay.
And they are now, I think, back on track. Right?
You heard
Am
it
I
from
correct?
You heard it from Cristina. That means it's true.
No. Let's hear confirmation from Nora.
We certainly have a lot of respect, to the past leaders and all that they have done for PIDCI.
Yeah.
They certainly paved the way for us. Yes, the challenges were there, and I know the challenges will continue to be there. But because we are all dedicated to improving every single year, so I think we have demonstrated that PIDCI has improved, and we will continue to move forward with improvement every single year. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not one of the questions I prepared to ask, but I'm so curious, and I hope you get to answer it. But how much does it take to have a parade down Madison Ave? Like the type of permits, like how much is this budget?
It's last year was $250,000 last
What?
year.
Wow.
Yes.
Part of a
Oh
million.
my
That's big.
goodness. 250,000.
Yes, but on a like, because last year was 125th, so we
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
right. So
It's a milestone in a
it's a
way.
yeah, it's almost 300,000 actually, because last year the total expenditures of PIDCI was 485,000, but that includes all the galas that lead to the parade. But the actual parade itself was more than, like, closer to 300.
Well, the biggest amount goes to which segment of the parade?
Right. A lot of it is you do have the cultural, right? The cultural presentation is, a part of the whole day event. That in itself, the stage is expensive, the tents are expensive, the floats are expensive. You have the favorite bands, right? The insurance is expensive. I mean, you have a lot of people that you have to make sure that there is enough insurance coverage. And in fact, last year, we went beyond the required amount by the city of New York. We doubled it just because, of course, of, incidents across the country. And we were anticipating a huge amount of crowds. So we doubled the insurance coverage last year. That's expensive.
Which brings me to one of the observations about PIDCI. Why do you have to get guests from the Philippines?
Okay. That's interesting. So when I saw the question, it was interesting. Right. Yes. I understand the concern. Yes.
Versus local
But if you look at the list of performers for the whole day, 99% of that, they're local artists, right? But let's all agree and admit that if you have an artist, especially that someone that's very famous, right, would add an additional level of interest for people to be there. So we would like to address all that to make sure we have, the most number of people attending and watching the parade, because not only the people down Madison Avenue, but also people watching worldwide because we have it live. So bringing them in, yes, it's expensive, but we don't pay for those because we have sponsors. We only cover their accommodation and part of their transportation. So we work very hard to get X deals. We provide the sponsors with booths, with floats, things like those, so that it would not cost PIDCI so much.
Yeah, it's good to hear that there is a balance.
Yeah,
not even just balance, but majority is local.
Right.
Yes.
Because we believe that this is also a great platform for upcoming artists, local performers who are not as known, right? So by bringing in somebody who's famous, you bring in the crowd and giving the upcoming artists, the visibility,
I know it's a shock, but we do have to begin closing the episode already. I'd like to ask Eder and Nora, last question is, what are you looking forward to most about your event, and how can we learn more? Like, when and where is your events?
Well, we're looking forward to having our small procession this year, but also introducing the Reina PICOSI candidates. Yes. I think this is going to be a great celebration for the women. I also am looking forward to bringing together all of the Staten Island and neighboring communities for all of the different activities. To get more information, we have a website, picosi.org. We're also on social media at the PICOSI on both Instagram and Facebook.
Got it. Okay. And Nora, how do we find out?
Okay, so you can look forward to a lot more festivals from the Philippines, and I know how competitive the other organizations are in winning that title of the best parade marchers this year. And those are the things that you can look forward to, and additional information, you can find them in our website, PIDCI.org, and also in all our social media accounts.
Okay, well, thank you again, Ms. Nora and Ms. Eder, and the MNN team. Maraming salamat to all our supporters and viewers from Makilala TV. Sa ulitin.